Hi, dear friends. Good morning. Welcome back to Aksharadari. I am Devraj. So today is 16th November 2023. I hope you guys are working towards to improve your communication in English. I hope you guys are following the tips which I have given in the previous videos, and also you guys regularly reading the newspaper without miss. So, before we to start today's newspaper reading, I would request you guys to please subscribe the channel, like and comment. If you like the video, please share it to your friends. It may useful for somebody to utilize the opportunities from the Aksharadhara and team. Let's start today's newspaper reading. The Hindu, which is very important for the competitive exam and for the state and central exams. So let's start reading the newspaper. Yes, guys, let's start reading the newspaper. See what's in the front page of the newspaper. The Hindu, which is very important for the competitive exams preparation. Let's see what's in front page. This is the front page. Campaigning ends in MP Chhattisgarh. Heavy drilling equipment brought in. PM launches initiative aimed at tribal groups. Waiting for the other shoe to drop. India should keep its ear close to the ground. South Africa looks to break a semi-final jinx. 6 chosen for Infosys Prize 2023. 39 killed as bus falls into deep gorge in J&K Doda. Very bad. 17 injured in the accident as vehicle veers off road at Trungal Assar in Chenab Valley. Police start probe. PM expresses grief and sanctions ex gratia. J&K parties slam administration over laxity. India storms into the final. Hundreds trapped in Gaza hospital after Israeli raids. India sees a 6.2% rise in goods exports in October. Siddaramaiah vows to work towards providing steps up a town hall for protest. Deadline for installation of HSRP to be extended till February 17. Six, including two from City, chosen for Infosys Prize 2023. The two recipients from Bangalore are Jahnavi Palke, founding director, Science Gallery Bangalore, and Mukund Tattai, professor, biochemistry, biophysics, and bioinformatics at the National Center for Biological Sciences. Very nice. NRM wants India to invest 1 billion annually for 20 years to train teachers. 269 actions planned under Bengaluru Climate Action Plan. Publicize rules on feeding and stray dogs to create awareness among public. Udupi murders, Belagavi resident arrested. Krishi Mela from tomorrow for first time millet dishes to be sold. Deepavali, marginal dip in air pollution levels this year. We had created awareness in Bangalore to protect it from becoming a gas chamber like Delhi, says Minister. Monitors not suited for local hotspots. Lasting relief from a joint pain, a breakthrough solution for chronic joint pain. 324 cases filed for violation of firecrackers norms. Firecracker injuries, 3 not likely to regain vision in one eye. Let this see this advertisement page. Corporates need to make their DE and I natives more detailed. A new study reveals that only 30% of the companies share the outcomes of the initiatives they have taken to create level playing field for the various groups that constitute their workforce. Let your dreams take the smooth flight to success land. BAYV takes over as BJP state chief, promises to work towards restoring party's former glory, indicating that he will take all communities along. He asks legislators to see themselves as party workers instead of Lingayat or Vokkaliga leaders. State BJP wants Shah to attend meet to build tempo for Alice schools. Swen private parties to adopt and restore monuments. Senior Wu hide post skip event. Two former JDS MLAs join Congress. CM rides to center and release of her drought relief. State sets of 50 stalls at a trade fair in Delhi. Invited from distributors. Birds and Birders of Bengaluru. History is living and evolving tapestry at a stray of human experiences and narratives. Beastly beauties. Carnivores plants such as the Venus flytrap, Nepenthes, and pitcher plant are colorful, intelligent, and wonders of nature. Enthusiasts and collectors, but burst some myths about these flamboyant lovelies. A book that helps build boundaries. A job not restricted in exam center KEA. NASA ISRO complete key test ahead of NISOR's launch. The mission with a 3-year duration will survey Earth's land and ice covered surfaces every 12 days. Women questioned on bomb threat call. Veteran Amoxist Sankaria is no more. As Gaja war rages, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Let's read this editorial page. Make it visible. As Gaza war rages, waiting for the other shoe to drop, the Israel-Hamas war is on now. It's in its sixth week. Like the proverbial landlord, West Asians and much of the world are currently in suspended animation, wondering when and where the second shoe will drop and how big a crater it would cause on regional and global geopolitics and the economy. While West Asia is no stranger to such shoe falls, several aspects of the current scrimmage are familiar, although some are now new. We need to dwell on them briefly before making any prognosis of the crisis. It has been just over 50 years since the 19-day Yom Kippur War of 1973, 41 years since Israel invaded Lebanon in 1982, and 17 years since a 33-day inconclusive war between Hezbollah and Israel in 2006. Israel was forced to leave Gaza in 2005, largely due to Palestinian resistance after a 38-year-long occupation. Since then, it has launched several military campaigns against Gaza. 2008 lasting 22 days, 2012 8 days, 2014 50 days, and 2021 11 days. Almost all Gaza conflicts involved Hamas firing rockets and the Israel Defense Forces making extensive air raids and missile attacks with occasional forays by armor-tipped infantry. Their ceasefires were always mediated by Egypt, the only Arab country that has a border with Gaza. Of late, Qatar has developed some proximity with Hamas and the Palestine Islamic Jihad, a sister militancy in Gaza, through financial support and sheltering their leaders. Landing a blow on Israel. Counting the differences, this ongoing conflict has proven to be far bloodier and more destructive than all its predecessors. It has already lasted longer than any, except the conflict in 2014. It has been the first time that Israel has suffered a major intelligence and security failure since 1973, denting its fabled impenetrable security and omniscient intelligence setup. It has resulted in Israel suffering the largest number of war deaths and hosting taking in a single day. Unlike previous instances of Israel fighting a non-state actor, this time it has had to contemplate the real possibility of a combination of Hamas, thus PIJ, Hezbollah, and the Houthis with Iran-allied Shia groups harassing the American military presence in Iraq and Syria in tandem. Further, following the Abraham Accords and recent progress towards normalization and with Saudi Arabia, the regional geopolitics has shifted from an Arab-Israeli binary setup to a more complex arrangement now. A prolonged and wider conflagration could risk a reversal of these hard won diplomatic gains. In addition, it could draw in Iran, which has become a more potent existential threat. At the same time, Israel's object payloads on October 7 have dimmed its role as the possibility anchor of a regional anti-Iran security alliance. While the Israel-Hamas conflict has hogged attention, other distractions such as the Ukraine-Russia war, China-United States frictions, and global economic fragility are lurching around. A reinforcement of regional tenets. All these weighty new factors notwithstanding, the Israel-Hamas conflict has reinforced some long-forgotten regional tenets. First, it has dramatically re-established the centrality of the Palestine cause, demonstrating that the 35 years of US-sponsored peacemaking has failed to bury it. An Israeli military solution at huge humanitarian cost could delay and complicate the situation, but may not take it to start up status quo ante October 6, 2023. Second, the conflict has demonstrated that despite all talk of West Asia's growing multipolarity, the US remains the ultimate arbiter of the region's security and stability. Third, thanks to its hydrocarbons assets, trade choke points, and the existence of potent non-state terror actors, West Asia's geo-economic importance remains undiminished, even as West Asian events are often counterintuitive. The Israel-Hamas war seems to be moving towards a denouement. Israel has gone far broke by besieging the major Gazan hospitals by alleging that Hamas uses them as human shields. It is a high risk gambit. If the information is correct and the siege succeeds, Israel would achieve its twin objectives of breaking the back of Hamas and releasing the hostages. Otherwise, it would have to eat a humble pie at home and face a public relations disaster abroad. For several reasons, Israel does not have time on its side after 6 weeks of tumult. According to an Israeli newspaper, even if war remains confined to Gaza, it could become financially ruinous, with cost estimates running to $51 billion or a tenth of the national annual GDP. A rough Indian equivalence would be a war costing $350 billion. Israeli rulers are already on notice domestically in abeyance due to the national crisis for the various lapses. If the Gaza conflict goes awry or expands into a forever regional war, public support for the national government could easily evaporate. Israel's iron first fist pursuit of its war aims may be popular at home, but the serious collateral damage is a hard sell abroad, particularly to Arabs and Muslims. In recent days, the tide of global sympathy has perceptibly shifted away from the Israelis' anguish after the October 7 outrage towards the suffering of the Gaza's civilians. Most Arab regimes have no love lost for Hamas, long shunned by them as part of political Islam that could stir up the masses. However, by waging a protracted, no holds barred symmetric conflict, Israel is pushing the Arab regimes towards Hamas, much to their chagrin. Arab regimes' evident failure to prevent mass death and destruction in Gaza discredits them in the eyes of the putative Arab street. Thus, Israel's single-minded pursuit of a military solution has a huge accompanying cost for the moderate Arab regimes, and they do not like it. Even the US Tel Aviv's ultimate protector has gone behind the usual bad cop, good cop routine and publicly distanced itself from Israel by calling for a two-state solution and a humanitarian process in Gaza. It is still too early to predict the eventual outcome of the conflict. In the worst case scenario, it could be a Greek tragedy involving the killing of the hostages, conflict expanding to envelop first the non-state actors and eventually Iran. The World Bank predicted on October 31st that in the war's worst case scenario, oil prices could rise to 157 billion a barrel. Many Wall Street anchors foresee such eventuality, pending the fragile post-COVID-19 pandemic economic recovery into a global recession. Further, Israel still seems to be thinking aloud about its exit strategy, abjuring the adagi. The longer you stay, the more options to extricate itself from the messy aftermath of October 7th. For India, India needs to be on its toes watching the Israel-Hamas conflict, which could do a considerable harm given our huge exposure to West Asia. Resultant high oil prices would be bad for our economy. The current account deficit and inflation would surge. If global growth is impacted, our exports and investment inflows may suffer. The geopolitical instability may pose a threat to the security of over 9 million strong diaspora in West Asia and raise questions about the India Middle East Europe economic corridor launched with great fanfare in September. With both Russia and Israel, India's two most important defense suppliers being currently mired in wars. Our defense procurement may face uncertainty. A protracted conflict may also fan international terrorism. On the positive side, high oil income may raise prospects for higher investment and remittances from the Gulf countries. India would need to be careful to leverage putative job openings in Israel, lest it put its citizens in arm's way. Besides, replacing Palestinian workers with Indians may further stereotype India. The conflict has already subjected Indian diplomacy to some intelligent shifts, although we quickly regained our traditional balance. All in all, New Delhi should keep its ear close to the ground and wait for the second shoe of the Gaza conflict to drop. Hopefully, without any further seismic convulsions. Let's go to the next. This is about the Gaza war. The Nobel in economics has a need to course correct. As we celebrate Claudia Goldin's well deserved Nobel Prize win in economic sciences for her pioneering research on the gender dynamics of a labor market, we are left pondering over this question. Why did it take over half a century for the Nobel Committee to recognize economic research addressing gender inequalities in the economy? A simplistic response is to blame economics, being a male dominated discipline, which in turn sidelines questions of gender inequality and fails to give them due importance. While the underrepresentation of women in economics, and even here it is only the work of only a few women that is acknowledged, is cause for concern. One has to refrain from making a superficial assumption that women economists think differently than men or have different interests. Drop the androcentric basis. Feminist economists have argued for the need to revisit economic theory to overcome the limitations posed by its masculine nature. The critique of feminist economists is not to strip economics away from its objectivity but to push for an economic theory free of its androcentric biases. Here, androcentric biases refers to the economic theories that fail to question the hierarchy of gender relations, take it as a given, and form assumptions that facilitate the existing hierarchies. This is illustrated by the duality of an economic man and the assumptions of economic theory. one who is self-interested in the marketplace and an altruist in the household. It is as if his self-interest is seemingly set aside at the doorstep, allowing an altruistic man to know what is best for everyone in the family. In both instances, the economic man is a rational being who is both all knowing and detached from his emotional self. The prototypical typical individual is attached to a word of one's own without the ability to be empathetic to another. The power wielded by a patriarch to solely make decisions for other individuals is as subsumed under an assumption of altruism, setting the foundation for most economic theories concerning the household. Much like an economic man, economics as a discipline has remained detached from the gendered experiences of individuals. A survey of economic models of the labor market tells us that these theories are not only ignorant of gendered experiences but also go on to invisibilize them. These models fail to account for the contributions of women as unpaid workers who reproduce labor for the firms. If you were to examine upper class households in India that employ domestic workers, we would find that these workers, trapped in iron and fire verbal agreements, bear the brunt of extending their care work to multiple households, including their own. In such cases, these households effectively transform into a distinct labor market that is complicated by the role of caste networks and migration. Economic theories perceive non-markets spaces such as the household similar to farms or markets. As such, it fails to accommodate individuals occupying multiple social identities. For example, the well-being of domestic workers remains understudied in economics. Julie Nelson and other feminist economists have documented how social meanings is associated with gender influence the building blocks of economic theory. While it is reasonable to associate masculine bias with the prominence of male economists, feminist economists argue that the direction of causality runs opposite. That is, there is something well within the nature of economics as a discipline that excludes individuals who live with lived experiences that fails to fit into its theories. It is partly the failure of economics to correct for its theoretical limitations that exclude non-male economists. Effect of biases. Biases inherent in economic theory can affect even the most sophisticated statistical methods. Empirical results may either reflect unrealistic assumptions of economic theory to remain unexplained by them even when most credible methodologies are employed. It is economic theory that provides the framework for interpreting empirical findings. The primacy of an economic rationality in theory overlooks social mechanisms that may drive certain empirical findings. Consider the example of women's employment and its relation to spousal violence. Economic theories regarding households suggest a negative correlation, as a wife's employment, especially when she earns more, means more income for the household. It is assumed to put the husband in a better position than without the wife's income, thus reducing the occurrence of spousal violence. However, evidence from recent studies in India directly contradicts this theory. These studies show that employed women, particularly those earning more than their husbands, are at a higher risk of experiencing spousal violence. In sociology literature, this phenomenon is known as the presence of male backlash, wherein the challenge posed to a traditional gender roles by women's employment is sometimes reasserted by husbands through the use of violence. Rethink the discipline. The masculinity of economics as a discipline is further strengthened by the importance given to casual methods of inference over other methods of empirical analysis. Though the former can offer better precision in identifying specific effects, relying solely on empirical data without considering the social context can lead to a misinterpretation of results. In particular, unique social dynamics tied to caste and gender norms often go unnoticed due to the lack of data to empirically investigate them. To overcome these limitations, economists can adopt a mixed methods approach by finding a balance between different ways of doing research and giving due attention to findings of other disciplines. What is ahead of economics and economics is to contextualize the economic theory to make it truly a reflective of reality. The tools of objectivity is economics only go for so far as they can account for the existing lived realities of individuals in society, taking a propitious golden win as a move in the right direction. Economics needs to pave the path for accommodation and beat among economics their method and most importantly it economic theories. Let's go to the next page. A grave error in the law. Tamil Nadu prepares for a third front. Once again, there is room for an alliance behind the Dravidian measures. Rajasthan lags behind the women empowerment. While the election-bound state has recorded poor performance in economic indicators, it has made significant progress in some social measures. India objects to Bhutto's speeches. Uttarkashi Tandal rescued rights on operation of new drill machine. The new equipment, which came into two parts and an AIF aircraft, is expected to speed up efforts to save those trapped for over 72 hours. Now, co-workers raised close slogans outside the collapsed site in the ill state over delay in rescue operation. Two infiltrators killed near Alos in Baramulla. Tribal body declares self-rule in a few districts of Manipur. FATF a team in India to hold on-site review meetings. Proposed criminal code gives more immunity to defense personnel. PM to open Samithan Global South tomorrow. Pravin Chakravarti appointed AIPC chief. Sensing low morale in party, Shah stayed put in MP. MP lost stretches dance bitter, glows up between Priyanka and Sindhya. Chhattisgarh countdown echoes with corruption, criminalism charges. Modi living the good life, Rahul says at rally in Chhattisgarh. Communalism and a tendency to polarize voters are in BJP's DNA. It wouldn't succeed. Congress candidate for Karanpur seat dies at 75. IIT Kanpur looking into planes on placements. Modi launches mission for most backward of these scheduled tribes. The PMPVTG mission is meant to bring 11 key interventions to 22,500 villages. Modi releases PM Kishan installment hours before campaign came to an end in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh. Food Ministry silent on extending PMGKY. Pawaz maintained Deepavali tradition despite NCP split. IMEC a win-win situation for all states involved. Finance Minister. SC Collegium led by Chandrachud completes his year stresses diversity. Stop this horror. UNICEF chief sees on a visit to Gaza Strip. Canadian PM Trudeau tells Israel that killing of babies must stop. Spain PM urges Israel to end indiscriminate killing in Gaza. Israel's war on Gaza is against the existence of Palestinian Abbas. Israeli raid at Gaza's main hospital sparks international condemnation. US Red Cross, WHO, Jordan, and Navy expressed concerns over Israel's actions at Al Shifa Hospital. Gaza says Israel's ensuing aerial and bombardment and ground offensive have killed 11,320, mostly civilians and including thousands of children. Okay, top court rejects Sunak's Rwanda deportation policy. Greenhouse gases hit a record high in 2022. China US pledged to set up a climate efforts ahead of major UN meeting. France issues arrest warrant for Syrian president. Gold drives trade deficit to new high. Post Royce death undistributed 25,000 crore with SEBI in focus. ONGC mulls 1 lakh crore spent on two Petchem plants. Senmoa Shipping eyes 20 ship fleet. RBI stops Bajaj Finance from giving loans under two products. UCO Bank lauds IMPS service after tech glitch. Crocs Footwear unit at Parambalu to begin operations, provide 4,000 jobs. Kohli is not finished yet. It is a phenomenal achievement. Shami goes past his stocks a record for bowlers with most five fours. Kohli becomes the first batter to score 700 runs in an ODI WC. Shreyas is the third Indian to score consecutive tons in WC. Kohli's record 50th. Shami is sizzling 7 drive India. Shreyas too plays a crucial hand with the second 100 on the go as the man in blue posts a huge total. The Kiwis, despite a spirited turn by Mike Mitchell and his 181 run stand with Williamson, lose by 70 runs. Kohli's fantastic 50, an achievement of Himalayan proportions that should stand the test of time. His hunger intensity inspiring Gill on Kohli. I'm trying to find the words to describe it. You actually just admire Kohli's had a greatness and he keeps getting better, says New Zealand skipper Williamson, referring to the star India batter's 50th ODI 100. Controversy ensures with over pitch change ahead of semi-finals. India is the third men's team to reach four World Cup finals. Can South Africa overcome its knockout phobia? Our experience will be handy. Comments. Baba resigns as Pakistan captain. Alcaraz keeps his hopes alive. Sinner downs Djokovic. South Africa will have to be ready for a very motivated Australia. Proteas rugby team recently won the World Cup, and if the cricketers can take inspirations from that and go the extra mile, then they have the capability of putting it across five-time champion. Ria advances in singles and doubles. Pranay lone Indian survived Japan Masters badminton. This World Cup is an advert why the ODI format should stay as it is. The silent treatment speaks poorly of the fans in our stadiums. Rory Mamsi Lord Alri resigns from PGA 2 board. Reserve Bank of India roots and decathlon hockey. Sport is a tool for change, says David Beckham. The UNICEF's ambassador Palmer England and Manchester United footballing great says sport brings team building, confidence, focus, discipline, and enjoyment. Rai Chaudhary, the physicist who quietly defied the system. 2023 is Amal Kumar Rai Chaudhary's birth ascent, and he defied pressure from Meghnad's shot to pursue his passion for general relativity. His 1955 paper on the Rai Chaudhary question revolutionized the field of relativity and was key to the work of Roger Penrose and Stephen Hawking. Let me read this page answer page later. NASA is prepared to launch joint space mission. These are the last two pages, guys. Text and context page. The number of ODI conducts for Virat Kohli. Increase in India's imports from Russia between April and October. Share of railway passengers traveling in non-AC classes. Healthy productive land affected by sand and dust norms. Manchester City's revenues for last season. Price of persistent petrol productions. In recent years, the frequency and intensity of disputes between the union government and the states have increased. The economic costs of such aberrations arising out of the homogenization of social sector policies, functioning of regulatory institutions, and the extended powers of central agencies are long-lasting. Why are IS coaching centers being probed by the CCPA, which are the coaching center institutes under scrutiny by the Central Consumers Protection Authority? Edinburgh to Kozhikode. How Kerala got onto UNESCO City of Literature list. Home to some of India's best-known writers, including M.T. Vasudevan Nair, Vaikom Ahmed Bashir, and S.K. Pottekot. The city has also a vibrant literature tradition, several and publishing houses, many libraries and bookshops, and hosts the popular Kerala Literature Festival. As the business end of the Cricket World Cup begins, a quick on the event over the years. This is the last page, guys. If you would like to read this last page, you can read it. I think it is not important. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the newspaper reading, and if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe the channel, like and comment. If you like the video, please share with your friends and leave the comment in the comment box so that I can come up with resolutions and solutions for your doubts. And see you in the upcoming videos, guys. And keep reading for 2 hours in a day. It will make you really come very fluent in English communication. See you in the upcoming videos, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.